revisit my history. Don't quote me on that. But pretty much that's how I remember the story. Okay, so now you had it to where Rome had rule over Jerusalem to the end that Jake couldn't even coin their own money. Okay, so to further build up upon that point, by the time John comes around, John the Revelator that we're reading about within the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter right here, he already knows Babylon was destroyed hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Okay, I think the media Persians comes around about 400 BC. Okay, so John comes on the scene. Let's say he was we're talking about 500 years, man. Okay, so when he's talking about this Babylon, he's talking about this Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, House Edom, that's spoken about within the book of Psalms 137 chapter. So now let's go back onto the scriptures here. Revelations 18:2, it says, he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and its fallen has become the habitation of the devils and the hold of every foul spirit and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drank of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's a quote, that's like a quote or link up scripture with the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter and the 7th verse. Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So America's been a golden cup within the Lord's hand, Edom, if you will. Okay, they pushed this agenda of wickedness throughout the face of the earth. And the same thing will happen when you go into the book of the times of the Maccabees. Okay, when the Maccabees, when you had it to where Alexander the so-called Great had defeated Darius the Mede after two battles, Battle of Isis and Battle of Granicus. Okay, and he had defeated him. All right. Then you had a new big dog, a new big boss within the city, and their whole agenda, their whole philosophy was wickedness. The scripture tells you when they was in rulership, when they set up their dynasty, you have wickedness just multiply upon the face of the planet. Okay, so the same thing's happening right now. Babylon has been the golden cup within the Most High's hand. He's had it to where it's been pulled out all of this madness throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, it says. And that goes back onto the when you're talking about the serpent within the garden. That's the idea of the serpent, man. The serpent was pushing forth those ideas, man. Okay, that left-hand energy. All right. So it says Babylon had been the golden cup within the Lord's hand and made all the earth drinking. Made all the earth drinking, and it says the nations have drinking of the her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Okay, they believe in everything against the scripture, pride. Adultery, covetousness. Right, the whole vibration is underneath the whole world is under the vibration of Esau, man. Okay, they're all underneath that vibration of it's all about me. Okay, boasters. Okay, self-willed. Okay, everybody's underneath that vibration because the whole world, the Most High has poured out this whole spirit by way of Esau upon all flesh. All right, let's read on. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup within the Lord's hand. It's made all the earth drinking, while the nations have drinking of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and is destroyed. How ye for her, take balm for her, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven. And that's what we're reading about here within the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. Okay, so it says there, Revelations 18:3 says, for all the nations have drank of the wine of her fornication, the wrath of her wine of her fornication, wine of her wrath of fornication. Right, and it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. Merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. You know, swift payment system, the merchants, the oil merchants out there, OPEC nations and all of that. They've waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Where you from, man? What country you from? Huh? Yeah, you know, you don't want to know. Knowledge is not for everybody, man. It says, and I heard another voice coming from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, be ye not partakers of her sins, all right, that you receive not of her plagues. And that's spoken about within the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter and the 8th verse, and where the scripture says how that you're going to have 2/3 that's going to be put through the fire and they're going to be burnt up. You got 1/3 pulled out of the fire. Okay, they're going to be saved out of that fire. So it says, hey, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, of her plagues. And it says, this 5th verse, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Double unto her according to her works in the cup which she hath filled. And that goes into here where it's saying within the book of Obadiah, the the 15th, no, the 15th verse says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, right? As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Okay, another quote, another scripture that could be quoted, all right, is the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, and the 9th verse. Okay, that goes hand in hand with this too. Okay, so Revelations 13 and 9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Okay, because not everybody was going to understand this. Okay, that's why the scripture says, that's why it says within the scriptures, why, but they said to the Lord, why speakest thou unto them in riddles? And he said, because it was given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Okay, what are the mysteries? Who is Esau? Who is the Illuminati? Who are the elite bankers? Okay, who is Israel? Where did Israel go? What's going to happen to the Israelites? And these are all fundamental questions that you got to ask. Okay, you just have to ask. You can't go. That's why the scripture talks about. Therefore, they're willingly ignorant. Okay, because you ultimately all the people upon the face of the earth if you know about these scriptures, you're gonna ask those questions. Who are the Israelites? Who are the Edomites? That's going to bring about. That's where with judgment, this great judgment is going to come upon them. Those are important questions, because if you find yourself to be an Edomite, well, that great judgment is going before you, right? But if you find yourself to be an Israelite, those will, you're gonna have that mercy come upon you, okay? So, Revelations, the 13th chapter, and the 9th verses. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Oh, yeah, preach, right?
It's reading
not an issue. No,
there's no problem with that. No problem with that. Okay? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the faith of the saints. So the thing that keeps us sane, okay, the thing that keeps the men of the Lord sane is knowing the Messiah is going to return in judgment upon the people that have what you call it? He's gonna return judgment upon these people that have been wicked, man. That's what keeps us going, man. Okay, right here is the patience in the face of the saints. Let's go back on to the book of Obadiah, and this is the 16th verse. It says, "For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall ye drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, they shall swallow down." Okay, you all right there, man?
Are you from Ghana?
Am I from Ghana? No, I'm from Israel. I'm an Israelite.
Yeah, you're from Ghana though?
No. Why'd you say that?
My mate's into Bible from Ghana.
Oh, right. Are you
do videos, you?
Yeah. Are you into the Bible?
Yeah.
Why not? It doesn't click.
I can't get into it.
It's not for everybody.
Where are you from?
I'm from Israel. I'm an Israelite.
Israel?
I'm an Israelite, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm an Israelite.
See ya.
Oh, okay.
Gaza Strip and that, yeah.
Sorry?
Gaza Strip.
No. My heritage. Yeah, no, I'm part of the scattered.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Bible speaks about this people being scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Where's your father from?
You know your stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
He's from Wigan. Off go.
Okay.
Hey, take it easy,
you take it easy, man.
Yeah.
All right. So he could have been a Jake. All right. It says for Obadiah 15 says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all heathens, as how is done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Okay, right. So all of the evil or wicked works that have been done, whether it be behind closed doors or whatever, it's going to return upon Esau, man. Okay, or Moab, or whoever done the wickedness. And the same thing goes for our people, In fact, if I go to the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, and I'll start from the 8th verse, you're gonna see all of the wicked is gonna be destroyed for their wickedness, man. Okay, so it says here within the book of Amos, the 9th chapter and the 8th verse, it says, "Behold, I as the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom," which is this kingdom that we're living in right now, is hella sinful. Okay, right, I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saving utterly. I will not destroy the house of Jacob. So the people that are going to get mercy out of this, or the house that's going to rise up out of the ashes, if you will, it's going to be the house of Jacob, the Israelites. Okay? And I'll destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving utterly. I will not destroy the house of Jacob. For lo, I will command and I'll sift, because the Israelites were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, so you ain't going to be saying, okay, he's black, he's an Israelite, he's white, he's the Edomite. Don't work like that. The scriptures didn't say that. The scriptures didn't say that was going to happen. The scripture says that the Lord was going to scatter us amongst all the nations. So you're going to have Jakes that was going to look yellow. Jakes that was going to look black. Jakes that was going to look white. They was going to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. That's why the Lord he's going to have to send those angels to sift out the wheat from the tares. That's what the whole parable was about, man. Okay? Because the scriptures, the people that wrote those parables and put those parables forth, whether they knew it or didn't know it, were really speaking about what happened in terms of the history and what was going to happen in the future, how Jake was going to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, it was going to come looking at everybody, and he was going to have some dudes out there that was going to look like straight up Jakes. Okay, look more like a Negro than Shaft. Okay, and they was going to be Edomites. All right, because just like how this seed has been spread forth, you go to where all of these nations' seed has been spread forth. When they had their empires, they dealt with all the women of the nations, and when we had our rule, we did the same thing, but with greater ferocity. Where if the scripture says within the book of Hosea, okay, the nation of Israel was going to be as the sand of the sea. It was going to be just all over the place, man. And the Lord was going to sift these people from whither they may be driven. Okay, that was part of the prophecy too, how that they was going to be sifted from among all of these nations. Okay. Amos, the 9th chapter, on the 9th verse, it says, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel from among all nations, like corn is sifted in the sea. Right, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." So the least Israelite that's of the elect is going to be all right. But ultimately, we know through the book of, let's go, is Isaiah the 14th chapter, I believe. Okay, Isaiah 14:1, it says, For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined unto them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. We know that ultimately all of Israel is going to make it. They're going to be all right. Okay, now we know 2/3 is going to be cut off, as we're going to read here within the book of Amos, but we know ultimately all Jake's going to be all right. And how they going to be all right? By way of reincarnation, man. So these Jakes out here that are doing all types of wickedness and being demons and all of that, they're going to come back in their right mind. All right, they're going to come back within their right mind when the Lord redeems us out of this hell. Okay, they're going to be born into the kingdom having their right mind, having the Lord such commandments and the Most High, impregnate with it. And we're going to love them. Okay, right now we hate them because they're demons. And the scripture says, "Don't I hate thee that hate thee, O Lord?" Okay, but them Jakes, when they come back on the other side, they're going to be of a sound mind. Okay, of a sound mind and a sound spirit. And they're going to be born into the kingdom, and they're going to be, we're going to rejoice because they're going to be our kids, man. All right, you're going to be our righteous kids. Okay, all right, so it goes on, it says, "All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake us, nor prevent us." Because you got hella scoffers out there, man. You got a whole heap of dudes out there that are all about, they don't get into the prophesying, they don't get into the understanding of the scriptures, what these scriptures, how they apply into modern day times. Okay, all they have is a problem against the man of great millstone. Okay, but the scripture talks about how that the word was going to be preached out there, and if you know, and that's in the book of Proverbs. Let me get that. Okay, and the people that wasn't going to take heed to the word, they was going to be destroyed. Okay, so Proverbs, the 1st chapter. I'll start from the 7th verse and I go to the 20th verse. It says, "Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Okay, so a lot of these geezers, man, they're fools. Okay, they're idiots. Okay, they're straight up idiots. Okay, they despise the Lord, they despise instruction, they despise His men. Okay, and the scripture talks about how if the servants, go ahead. That's all right. That's good time now. Okay. If they have hated the master, they was gonna hate they was gonna hate the servant too. And where the servants of Yahweh Shemir Shai, so they was gonna come with a certain amount of hatred towards the men of the Lord. Okay, so it says this is the 20th verse. It says, "Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth a voice in the streets." See how things come full circle? Because the first precept I brought out in this sermon was in the book of Isaiah, the 58th chapter. Okay, how that we was going to go out there, cry aloud, sparing up, lifting up our voice like a trumpet, telling the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you need to get right with the Most High. Okay, telling the Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, you need to get right with the Most High. And ultimately, when the Lord comes back, the Lord was going to have mercy upon His elect. It says, "Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth a voice in the streets. She crieth from the chief place of concourse and the openings of the gates in the city, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?" And when we go to the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, we find out a lot of these simple cats, these simple-minded, bird-brained Negroes, simple-minded, bird-brained Israelites, okay? They wasn't going to get the understanding, right, till the cities be laid waste. And that's in the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter. All right, so let's get into it. Isaiah, the 6th chapter. It says 6 and 9. And he said, go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Going back onto the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, they're winning the ignorant. Okay, they're winning the ignorant. So they see the prophets, the prophecies, certain events, certain agendas. Hey, the men of the Lord will break down all of these, political events and go into it, but a lot of jakes are just willingly ignorant. They're not going to get into it like that. Okay? So see ye indeed, but understand not. Okay? Hear ye indeed, but understand not. And see ye indeed, and perceive not. It says, therefore make the heart of these people fat, all right, and make their ears heavy, and shut up their eyes. Okay, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and understand and convert and be healed. Because ultimately, when you convert unto the understanding of the scriptures, you're going to be healed from what? From this spiritual madness, okay, wicked madness that this planet is, okay, that this rulership is, okay. Ultimately, that was going to be salvation too, okay, because that's the greatest of all plagues. Hey, the book of Zechariah, the 14th chapter says that this is the plague where we've all fought against Jerusalem. So, and who has fought against Jerusalem? Jerusalem is talks about the elect, is the people before it's a place, but also it's the elect first, man. Okay, there is the Israel of the Most High, and there's Israelites that fight up against the Israelites of the Most High, right? Okay, so it says, make the heart of these people fight, and make their ears heavy and sharp their eyes. Let's say, see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and their ears hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and convert and be healed. Then said I, how long? And he said, and he answered, until the cities be laid waste without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. So that's how long these simple are going to remain simple if they're not of the elect. Okay? So going back onto the book of Proverbs, the 1st chapter, and this is the 22nd verse. It says, how long you simple ones will you love simplicity? How long will the scorners delight in scornings, and the fool hate knowledge? We've learned that until the cities be laid waste. Okay? It says, alright, it says, I turn you out my reproof, and behold, I'll pour out my spirit unto you, and I'll make known my words unto you. Okay? So when you turn out the reproof, the rebuking of the man of the Lord, as pursuant to the book of Isaiah, the 58th chapter. Okay, when you turn and you're like, look, man, I can't do what I'm doing anymore. I gotta do my best to be my best in faith to be pleasing unto Yahweh Shimi outside. Okay, that's when the Lord is gonna pour out all types of understanding unto you, man. Okay. Because I have called and ye refused, and I've stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set not all of my counsel and will none of my reproof. Therefore will I laugh at your calamity. So when that judgment comes, you don't have the men of the Lord laughing at your calamity. Okay, I will mock when your fear cometh, and when your fear cometh as a desolation, and when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me. And you got guys out here saying, oh look, no, the name of the Lord is this, that, and the third. But see, the scripture says when that calamity comes upon them, man, they're gonna call upon the name of the Lord. Okay, so it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer, and they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So they're gonna be looking for the Lord in that day, but they shall not find him. Okay, so it goes back onto here in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter. There's the 10th verse. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake us nor prevent us. So they don't turn at the reproof of the Lord, so they don't get the they don't get the goodies that come with that, which is being exempt from judgment if you're off the elect. Okay, I'll just read this bit. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and I'll raise up his ruins, and I'll build him as in the days as in the days of old. Okay, so you get Jake's coming up and waking up into the truth and that. And it goes into here back within the book of Obadiah, and this is now the 17th verse, and it says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and they shall be holiness. Okay, the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and they shall kindle, and the house of Esau shall be for stubble, and they shall kindle in them. Okay, meaning to say Esau was gonna be, he's gonna get the wacko's apple, man. Okay, so it says that they shall kindle in them. Okay, and they shall devour them, and there shall not be remaining any of the house of Esau. Okay, so that's the judgment that's going to come about on Esau. Now I quoted Mark the 13th chapter a little bit earlier on. I wanted to get into that before I close out. In a second, it's going to be in the book of Mark the 13th chapter. Excuse me, let me get it right quick. Right, because all of these things, man, okay, Esau being destroyed and all of that, that's all prophecy, okay? And you're gonna see within these scriptures, the Most High has allotted it. Okay, it's gonna play out. Okay, all right. We're gonna read about the scripture here is gonna tell you that you're gonna have rumors of wars. That's what you're hearing now. Okay, with North Korea. Okay, this whole thing of Kim Jong-un doing certain activities and all of that. But we know ultimately these are just the beginnings of sorrows, man. Okay, it's gonna get real hella hell and real hella heavy when you ain't got no more food out there within the stores, and the chip is gonna be your only perceivably your only option. Okay, but we know the other option, the just shall live by faith. Okay, so the Lord's gonna deliver these men from those times of hunger. Okay, but by way of taking that chip, you put yourself in a position where you're gonna be destroyed, right? So it's a no-brainer just to hold the faith, but that's an easy thing to say, right? When you got food in your bed, okay? So it says there within the book of Mark, the 13th chapter. I'll start from the 7th verse. Mark 13 and 7. It says, I'll start from the 4th verse. So this is the mentality of the men of the Lord. Okay, they were hastening the day. Okay, so it says, tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign when all of these things shall be fulfilled. And Yahushua answering began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you.